Art, and you're listening to the Smacked Raw podcast.
I'm like, okay, well, has this always been a thing? Where have I been?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Smacked Raw podcast. Jesus, I'm forgetting what show I'm hosting. Smacked Raw podcast, SmackDown recap edition. I'm your host, Kyle Tyson. I am joined by nobody. Gave RN the night off. He sent us his Christmas card that you see on screen from the Christmas party he was attending. So yeah, he's obviously he's having it up tonight. Katie was, she's worked the last couple days in a row too. So I figured, you know what, why not? I'll knock this out by myself. I've done these before. It's not really that bad. But if this is your first time watching or listening to the show, we are a wrestling recap show. We cover primarily WWE and AEW. We'll cover other big shows if they come along. Like, I know New Japan has Wrestle Kingdom coming up. We'll probably do something on that. There's a lot of stuff going on between AEW and Impact Wrestling. So we try to keep up a little bit with those things. But you can always watch us live on twitch.tv/puttingyouover. We do our Raw, Dynamite, and SmackDown recaps along with pay-per-views on there. On Thursday nights, you can catch Katie covering NXT with RN and Kevin over on our own Twitch channel, twitch.tv/SmackDown podcast. If you ever miss a live viewing, we're over on youtube.com/SmackDown podcast. Definitely head over there and hit that subscribe button. We are so close to 200. In fact, it's been a couple days. Let me look it up. Maybe we've hit 200. I don't know yet. Seems like we're getting viewers more frequently now than normal. Let me see. Let's check out our channel. 196. Come on, people. If you haven't already, please head over there. Help us hit that 200 mark. We'd greatly appreciate it. Something else that we would appreciate is we have a Patreon. Patreon.com/SmackDown podcast. Christmas card is overlapping it. Let me see here. I should have set the stuff up better. There it goes. Okay. Patreon.com/SmackDown podcast. We got stickers. We got t-shirts. Shit, I have still forgotten to send out Jay and D-Rod some more stickers. Jay subscribed last month, and D-Rod won our first season of predictions, which actually, if you guys are participating, I'm going to be sending out those predictions to you guys after the show, or either first thing in the morning, depending on how I'm feeling. Be the second pay-per-view that we're predicting going towards the Royal Rumble. So yeah, tune in there. But like I said, man, head on over to Patreon, support the show. We greatly appreciate it. Lastly, we are back officially on WrestlingNewsWorld.com. I forgot to tell Katie that earlier today, but you can head on over there. They have a bunch of news articles, hot takes, interviews, retro reviews, a whole bunch of stuff on there, along with other wrestling podcasts. I believe we still are the exclusive recap podcast over there. We're finally back, so make sure to bookmark them. Check them out, man. A bunch of talented guys and gals over there doing good work, man. Oh, shoot. Okay, that's it for the plugging. I'm just kidding. I got one more thing to plug. I have started a sister channel. It's not really up anywhere yet. I guess you'll just have to keep your eyes open for it. We did a show called Hammer's Lounge. It's designed to be a more general podcast. It's probably going to be a little heavy on the MMA side of things, but we're going to talk about just about anything over there. You'll find myself, my brother Kurt, who was supposed to be a special guest, is now bugging me that he wants to be a weekly personality on that. You can follow him at Hammer MMA on Twitter. I really have nothing else other than just like, if you haven't seen it, I'll post a link sometime soon. You can check out the first show that we did. Went super long, got very drunk, got intimidated by a cat. That is a true statement. It was a really weird moment for me, and even weirder watching it back on replay to see a cat kind of punk me out on air. Wasn't a fun time. I'm just kidding. It was actually a lot of fun. Just keep an eye out for that. So, yeah. Other than that, I ain't really been up to much. Tried, did that show. I went to the dentist the other day for the first time to where it didn't involve getting a tooth pulled or cut out of me. And so apparently, if you've never been to the dentist, they do what's called a deep cleaning. It's where they essentially take a needle and water jet and they just blast off plaque for like an hour, and they dope you up on a whole bunch of numbing drugs. And it was not really a good time. I see why people are terrified of that place. I have to go back here soon, actually, get the other half done. But it was weird trying to explain to my boss why I was going to be several hours late because I could not feel my face and I was really unable to talk, where my job requires me to be able to talk. Getcho Podcast is in the chat. What's going on, Getcho? Man, thank you guys for being here. Normally there's a lot of us. It's kind of weird, the SmackDown podcast to only be one person, but that's just how the cards fell tonight, man. That's how they fell. But we're here to talk SmackDown. SmackDown, which I'm not going to lie, this week, man, awesome turnaround. SmackDown's the A show, in my opinion, with WWE. It really is. I don't watch NXT as often as, say Katie, RN, and Kevin do. And RN obviously is Mr. NXT. He says he'll never believe that AEW is a better show, which is okay. I mean, it's okay. I'd like to think people should be more open-minded. But I mean, that's his thing. But in my opinion, from what I watch for WWE programming. I watch Raw. I do watch NXT on occasions, and SmackDown. SmackDown's winning, hands down. Raw's got so many things working against it. I'm not one of those people that's whining and complaining that they're just bombing, but Jesus, their show is way more difficult to get through than it is SmackDown. SmackDown's just easy, man. So easy to get through. Roman Reigns has put this company on his back and is easily the most intriguing angle in all of WWE, in my opinion, including NXT. His story is just turning out fantastic. I would like to see a couple more odds and ends added, but with that being said, I think Kevin Owens is doing a great job in this chapter, and the whole thing tonight. I mean, if you've been watching the SmackDown podcast, I got this thing with kayfabe murder that I think they should do more murder angles, and I was calling for it before SmackDown even went on the air, and Jesus, that's all they leaned into, is that Kevin Owens essentially is going to die by Sunday. The dude is going to be killed off of television, man. I couldn't be any happier. I really couldn't. I love that they're leaning into this. Obviously, they're not gonna actually do it, but the way that they insinuate take him out. What was another line Roman was saying? I think he was saying like end him. It was definitely more violent undertones to the message that was being conveyed tonight than normal. But yeah, it was. Oh man, yeah. Getcho says KO is like the best supporting actor in this storyline. Honestly, he really is, man. Jay did his role very well, and once Jay had to migrate back a little bit, KO has really stepped up. I wasn't into it at first, but I was fully sold this week. You know what it reminded me of? The ending angle. You remember that time that Seth Rollins was essentially murdered by Brock Lesnar days before their pay-per-view match? I can't remember what pay-per-view, but Seth Rollins was like F5'd onto like the spine of a chair. This dude was mauled. Literally anybody else would have been like kayfabe unfit to have their match. And then Seth Rollins, like bleeding out the mouth, essentially, the crowd chanting one more time. They were loving the gratuitous violence that Brock Lesnar was putting on Seth Rollins. And all Seth could do was squeak out that he's going to win. And it was the most pitiful thing. But then Seth surprised us all. And somehow he came out to that pay-per-view. I can't remember which one it was. And he beat Brock Lesnar. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen at TLC, but that's the closest thing I can compare this to, is Kevin Owens is being beaten within an inch of his life and still crawls out the rubble at the end of the show to say he's going to win or he's going to die trying. Like, literally says it in the promo to close off SmackDown this week. So, I mean, that stuff alone gets a big thumbs up from me, you know, not to mention a lot of the other stuff that was going on tonight I thought was fantastic. So with that being said, I'll get into it. You guys in the chat, let me know what you think. People listening, please leave comments, like, share this show, leave ratings and reviews. Let me know what you think. And of course, myself and the other cast members will be eagerly waiting, and we'll reply and we'll chat up with you, let you know what we think too as well. So the show kicks off. Kevin Owens in the ring, cutting a promo. Remember last week he was beat down by Roman Reigns. Kevin Owens, after Roman Reigns cuts a promo on Kevin Owens' family, he tells his family that he doesn't want them to watch TLC Sunday, not because out of fear what will happen to Kevin Owens, but he doesn't want his kids to see what he's going to do to Roman Reigns. We've heard this stuff before. And then he starts to cut a promo on Roman's kids, saying that Roman's concerned about what his family will think of him. And he simply puts, you know, if they've watched TV the last couple weeks, they know you're a hypocrite, calls him a coward. He's cut off eventually by Paul Heyman on the big screen. Heyman's referring to Kevin Owens as a martyr, says that he learns that mutilation, which is a awfully violent word, wouldn't be enough to stop Kevin Owens. And they understand that now, and that he has to be, quote unquote, taken out. So Heyman's in on this whole, we gotta kill you, man. We're gonna have to kill you. And we'll send flowers to your kids. How about that? But this promo actually goes on for a while. Kevin Owens back in the mic. He's had enough. So he says, you know, if Roman's not going to come out, he's going to go looking for Roman Reigns. He heads to the back. We come back from commercial. Adam Pearce is urging Owens not to go into Roman's locker room. Turns out the door is locked. Roman's has given him the slip. There's a conveniently placed monitor right next to the door, in which Kevin Owens can see that Roman Reigns has now made his way to the ring. So this was kind of silly, if you ask me. Look, Katie's helping me out in the chat. She says, Seth beating Brock after getting wrecked at SummerSlam 2019. Thank you. I knew it was a big one. Reek says, it all fits because Roman is a serial killer. The man only speaks in hushed tones, classic serial killer tendencies. Reek, after tonight, I'm left with all reasons to believe you, man. But, Roman at this point, it's kind of falling off for me. This promo's going on quite a while to kick off the show. Essentially, Roman now wants Kevin Owens to acknowledge him as the tribal chief, as the head of the table. Which, I mean, dude, he's not part of your tribe, so he doesn't have to acknowledge you for shit, other than you're the champion and he wants the belt. But, I mean, it is what it is. Essentially, Roman says, if you don't, I will end you. You won't make it out tonight. At this point, Owens marches to the ring. Passes the conveniently placed chairs, which if I was in his shoes, I would have been grabbing at least some sort of weapon. He's jumped by Jey Uso and Roman Reigns. They beat him down. Dude, I was kind of laughing, actually, at this beatdown. And it was one of those times that I made myself laugh. Roman Reigns' character is so believable. It's so believable how violent and terrible his intentions are. Completely throws me off when I see him throwing like safe punches and kicks to protect the other guy that he's working with. Because I'm sitting there legitimately believing like Roman's trying to kill the man, but then I see him pulling his punches and kicks, and I find it hilarious because I forget, you know, in those moments that, this is a production. You know, we're not actually watching live murder take place on television. So yeah, it always throws me off. when I see Roman taking care of his coworkers. But well, anyways, let me see. I lost my place here. I was too busy. Oh yeah. It was. No, I mean that was pretty much it. After they're beating up Kevin Owens, Jamie Noble comes out, breaks up the fight. They officially announced after this. Randy Orton and The Fiend is officially announced for a Firefly Inferno match. This is the first Inferno match since Kane took on MVP. I think MVP is the last guy to be set on fire on WWE. I could be wrong though. I'm not good with history stuff. But yeah, exactly. What's a Firefly Inferno match? I mean, Inferno match is pretty standard, right? It's the first person to set their opponent on fire is declared the victor, you know. They toned it down for the PG era, and they did an Inferno match between Bray Wyatt and Kane. That was actually Bray Wyatt's debut match. Bama Dave in the chat says, going solo. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Between Christmas parties and people having lives, sadly, I do not. So I am here solo doing the recap. Oh, man, everybody needs a day off from time to time, man. So I'm just doing this thing. I'm glad you're in the chat, though. Thank you. But yeah, so what exactly is a Firefly Inferno match? I'm left to assume it's going to be partially pre-taped and cinematic. Maybe not quite as much as, say, like the Firefly Funhouse match, or what was the Swamp match between Classic Bray and Braun Strowman, whatever. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think honestly, it's just a standard Inferno match, which it leads me to believe this will be the maybe one prediction. I don't know. I'll give away. I'm pretty sure this is a way to give Randy Orton a victory while not taking any momentum away from the Fiend, because the Fiend won't be pinned or submit. You set him on fire, which the Fiend will probably look badass coming out of it anyways. In the chat, Katie says the last Inferno match was MVP versus Kane. Nice. Thank you. It was in 2006. Good job, Kyle. Thank you. Katie, you're officially my Jamie to Joe Rogan's podcast. All right, so that's awesome. Looking that stuff up. Fact-checking me on air. Backstage, I gotta try and stop saying It's like my involuntary pause. Like it just vocalizes between pauses. I gotta stop saying that. Backstage, Roman tells Jay to end Kevin Owens, to take him out. More murder makes Kyle happy. I love where this is going. That's pretty much the segment, though. Afterwards, look, I'm not going to lie. There was a couple segments I was dipping in and out of. I was, at this point, still kind of banking on, a co-host to pick up the slack. So, my apologies. But I can kind of summarize some of this stuff because I don't believe there was really anything important that took place. If there was, Katie or somebody in the chat might be able to help me out. But pretty much this tag team title match between the Street Profits and Rude and Ziggler, I really don't know what the point was. The match honestly didn't look like it introduced anything new other than, you still saw the same spots. Montez Ford getting his ribs hurt for my botched, frog splash, I think it was. The ending saw Robert Roode attempt to roll up Montez Ford, hold the tights. It's reversed, and Montez Ford rolls up Roode while holding the tights, picking up the victory. What the hell was this? What the hell was this for, man? I have no idea. This feud. Ziggler and Roode are the only other tag teams, so you'd think kind of like the same position between New Day and the Hurt Business. You gotta have the belts go back and forth a little bit. You can't completely bury the other tag team because there's no division. There's nothing. There's nobody else. If your only antagonist looks like a chump, what are you fighting for? I don't know. I'm probably making a mountain out of a molehill here. To be honest with you, I think that this is just leading towards another tag team championship match, probably the kickoff show for TLC between these guys. And that's about it. That's all I really got for it. I really got nothing anticipating between this tag team division. I believe that unfortunately Street Profits have lost almost, if not all, of their momentum. And the most credible tag team is Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler, which, by all means, they're an okay tag team. But it's like the championship picture is obviously gone stale. And it's one of those cases where you can tell WWE obviously does not care about their tag teams. Raw tag team belts, SmackDown, the women's, especially the women's. It's what it is. Bama's saying they didn't bury him, but at this point they need a win, Bama. Getting singles wins does not matter if you're still losing the big one. And I know it's an episode of SmackDown. Like I said, I guess at this point, it's just personally speaking, it's just I'm losing interest. You got to start swapping those belts over because they're not even building anybody else up to take the place of Roode and Ziggler. And this isn't like a 5-star feud that we were getting in 2016 between the New Day and the Usos where you couldn't wait for their next match. I could care less about these two teams facing off with each other because they're not putting out those 5-star bangers. They're putting off competitive matches, but it's not the edge of your seat stuff. So why do I care about this feud? It's outrun its course in my opinion, but like anything else, we'll have to wait and see where it goes. What else we got? Jey Uso. I have it written down Jerry. It confused the shit out of me. Jey Uso backstage, first go at Kevin Owens, hits him in the back 3 times with a chair. Not quite taking him out stuff. Not quite the whole end him attitude I was expecting. More or less just kind of sending a less than subtle message. But hey, it is what it is, man. Reek says in the chat, each show has tag team champs and 1 to 2 actual contenders. Bama goes on, well, this match solidified the Profits as a tag team, but don't worry, they will lose the belts to Jay in a returning Jimmy at the Rumble. Hey, that's a good take. I hope you're right, man. I really hope you're right on that one. Kayla interview gives a brief interview with Bianca Belair backstage, hyping up her match with Bayley. Which, in my opinion, I think we all saw this coming. Match of the night. After that, Billie Kay wants another shot at the Riot Squad. This is a confusing dynamic, if you ask me. Very, very confusing. So Billie Kay is the heel in this story, the bad guy, if you will. Besides the whole resume stuff, which I actually kind of find hilarious. I really like it. And I hope it leads to Billie Kay actually being SmackDown general manager. I think that'd be an awesome spot for her. Well, anyways, she has found another tag team partner to take on the team of the Riot Squad, who constantly mock and belittle Billie Kay. Not really the best babyface stuff. It's one thing to mock and belittle like someone like Baron Corbin, who is an insensitive prick all the time. Billie Kay is just hunting for a job. She's not putting other people down. She's not doing anything to harm anybody. The woman is trying to make a living, and she's getting mocked for it, by baby faces. This is the thing that confuses me. They have the heel face dynamic in this all jacked up. Anyways, Billie Kay, she gets her second shot. Unfortunately, her tag team partner is Tamina. No offense to Tamina, but we knew the second we saw her, like, what this was. She loses in quick fashion. I'm not sure what they're going for here. Honestly, this kind of strikes me as a little bit of like a Lana Light storyline, which, they're like unintentionally creating an underdog in Billie Kay. And I don't believe that's her intention. And it is what it is. But now Billie Kay, I guess, is feuding with the Riot Squad and losing and being mocked. But she's the heel and Riot Squad are the faces. And it confuses me. But anywhere I look, including the live chat, everybody's behind Billy Kay. Billy Kay's hilarious. A national treasure is effing fantastic. That's what I'm saying, man. Bama says these weekly matches are just feeding the Riot Squad wins to make them credible threats to Nia and Shayna. Good luck, WWE. Who can beat them? All right. So, is it Somalia? Somalia, right? Somalia. Wine waiter. Carmella's servant, I guess. This Carmella just does a brief little toast session in the ring. She's got some tastings of champagne that she claims she wants to find the perfect one tonight to celebrate when she beats Sasha Banks. My favorite whole part of this whole thing was you knew this was intentional. It had to be. She drops the fact that she enjoys the bubbly and immediately follows that up with "I'm better than you." Any AEW stands out there obviously know that they're like, at this point, WWE's taking a shot at AEW. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I picked up on it right away. That's for sure. I threw out a tweet. I had the gif of MJF and Chris Jericho from the steak debonair or something, you know. But anyways, I just thought it was hilarious. It's not long before Sasha Banks comes out. She gets distracted by the sommelier, and champagne is broken over the back. Kind of a weird one. I get the no chair shots to the head, but I mean, it's sugar glass. Are they really playing it that safe, or do you think this is an angle to injure Sasha Banks' back, like it's going to play out in the match? At this point, I hope it plays out in the match. Otherwise, it just feels awkward that that's what you would target. Like, I've never seen in the history of cinema, movies, video games, anybody take a bottle and the spot they want to break the bottle is on the person's back. The dinner debonair. Thank you, Katie. Yeah, that's my fact checks right there. I love it. But yeah, the champagne bottle's broken over the back. It's just a weird one. Dude, I'm sorry if you guys are whoever tweeted this. I meant to mention you, but they just asked, is Carmella's character just a upper class bougie lush? And I think so. I think that's exactly what she is. So, but I look forward to it. Will she beat Carmella? I kind of hope so, man. I kind of hope so. Carmella as a babyface champ just doesn't work. For one, if you ever watch SmackDown, you know I, for one, don't acknowledge that Sasha Banks is a babyface. I just know that's what WWE picture her as. She's not a babyface. But either way, it doesn't do it for me as her as champ. She's always either better as a heel champ or chasing the title. This is just a weird feud. Although I'm into it. I am into it. I'm not going to lie. But on this one, I am rooting for Carmella. I don't know if that necessarily means I think she's going to win it. I'm just rooting for her. Backstage, Kevin Owens is being treated by a physician, a sports doctor, somebody. Jey Uso comes in, puts him through a table. This is not Kevin Owens' night. This is really not turning out well for the guy. In the chat, Reek says Sasha can't get sympathy. Very true. Katie says Sasha is no way, shape, or form a babyface. Reek says 2016 was a perfect example with the knee injury. I forget that one. My memory's terrible, Reek. Good luck trying to get me to remember anything that even happened at the beginning of this year. Bama says boss can't be a face. Same as the queen. It doesn't work. Exactly. There's some people that are just good heels, and that's all they can be. On the flip side of that, though, the Bayley we used to think could only play face. She eventually proved that she can do an awesome heel. Oh, the Iron Man match. Thank you, Reek. Yeah. Vander wants to say, does she have an OnlyFans page? Hey, now. Anyways, Otis Otis gets a win under his belt. He takes on Shinsuke Nakamura. They have a quick match. I do like Otis now has included a rotating lariat. However, I would kind of like him just to make it like a Stan Hansen lariat. I think Otis, that would do wonders for Otis's image to give him that type of move. If Stan Hansen's a little too old school for you, think JBL's Clothesline from Hell. I think that would be perfect for Otis. I used to say I would actually like that for Roman Reigns. But in this case, Otis seems to be the one adopting a lariat. Actually, going back to Roman, I actually said that the Clothesline from Hell should replace Roman's spear. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. Yeah, either way, I do like the rotating lariat that he does. He ends up getting a splash. One side of me, I'm really happy to see Otis coming out with a win. I am a fan of his. On the other hand, it does sting a little bit to watch Nakamura go down to him. But I mean, at the same time, what's Nakamura doing right now anyways? Like, what would a Nakamura win really prove? Like, nothing. So it's good to get some momentum going. Backstage, Chad Gable's still questioning why Otis apparently is not picking up on his reverse psychology in the match. Otis was going to go for the Caterpillar. Chad Gable told him not to. It helped Otis pick up the win. But next, whatever. Tomorrow they're going back into their alpha class or whatever it is. I'm interested to see where this story is going. Oh, man. Let's see. You're talking about the Bianca Belair match. Yeah, we'll get into that whenever that comes up. We get a little presentation. We get a little sneak peek at the Sammy Awards, obviously playing off the returning Slammies that I think air this Wednesday, I want to say, like 10 in the morning. But anyone else pick up Alpha Academy? Thank you, Katie. Anyone else pick up that the awards were just spray painted Sami Zayn action figures? I didn't notice it till someone else pointed it out, and I went back. Yeah, sure enough. Yeah, they're just spray painted. I'm assuming Sami Zayn action figures. But Zayn comes out looking very dapper. Nice suit, everything. He obviously takes these awards very seriously. We get a little recap. He says we're going to get the 2020 year in review. It's just highlights of Sami Zayn throughout the year and his like shady wins on how he retained the Intercontinental Championship. I loved all of this. First award was for Comeback of the Year. He lists off, it could be Edge, it could be Roman. Of course, it's Sammy. The second award was Match of the Year. Once again, goes to Sammy's win over Jeff Hardy and AJ Styles in a ladder match. It's actually kind of on par right now. I mean, it's a hard one to argue. That was a good match. Lastly, Superstar of the Year. Turns out it's Big E. It's not Sami Zayn. Big E comes out all dressed up, looking awesome. Starts giving a speech. Sami Zayn throwing a fit, running around. Big E nonchalantly shoving Sami away until Sami pushes Big E, in which case Big E delivers a quick little beat down, accepts the award. A+ for this segment. I loved it, man. I loved it. It was hokey and funny, and it didn't overstay its welcome. So I'll take it. Oh, thank God! I thought my battery died. Let's see. I like to go over to the chat. Let's see. Yeah, they were hilarious. Good. Bama says A+ as well. Awesome. Sure, we'll see Big E versus Sammy for the IC title Sunday. I don't know. Maybe. Where else would they build it to, though? Would it go all the way to Royal Rumble? I mean, yeah, they might add it. See, this is why I hold off on sending out my predictions, is these last second match editions. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be Sunday. I really don't. All right, so big surprise. Bayley and Bianca Belair, their match is up next. Match of the night. I mean, honestly, is anybody surprised here? Love Bayley. Bayley's character work is fantastic. Before she even gets in the ring, she starts gloating about her pyro that's about to go off, because obviously Bianca Belair doesn't have any. So she comes out during her entrance, starts to gloat, starts motioning behind her. All her pyro goes off, and she says, I think she was saying something along the lines like main player, I'm a draw, something to that matter, And she's a main character, and she gets pyro. And it is fantastic character work. And it continues throughout the match. Her mocking Bianca Belair, stopping at no point, trying to cheat, getting feet on the ropes, pulling the tights, all the classic stuff. These two go at it for about a good 20 minutes. Great match, man. Great match. And I loved every second of it. At one point, Bianca Belair, they're reversing some roll-ups. Bianca Belair lifts Bayley from a pin. It took a couple tries, actually, but it's okay. Picked Bayley up from a pin into a powerbomb position. Bayley rakes the eyes and then delivers, I can't remember what they call it. It's the first alliteration of the Dirty Deeds. Essentially, it's the face buster. It's her take on it. She ends up picking up the win. Some people are upset Bianca Belair lost. Look, it was a fantastic match. Bayley hasn't won a match since she lost the title. I believe Bayley has remained winless since she lost the belt to Sasha. I really believe this is her first win. I'm okay with this. She cheated to win. That does nothing to hurt Bianca Belair. These two will feud, and Bianca will pick up her victory. Bayley will keep her spot up top. Bianca will establish herself. I think it's awesome. Okay, now I see that Bama has copied and pasted his previous message, so I guess it does tie into this. Everyone says that Bayley buried Bianca after a 20-minute great match, but no one sees how Shinsuke got buried in 3 minutes by Otis, who is a new single star. Terrible. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. My thought on Shinsuke is that he doesn't mind like his stuff going right now. I feel like he is a man enjoying a long career and doesn't mind. Like, he's already been on the mountaintop of these other promotions, and now he's kind of just enjoying the fruits of his labor and getting paid big time to not have to work overly hard. I'm not saying that he definitely will get some good feuds before his career is up, but yeah, I mean, who knows? I did see that tweet. Someone said that he's here to surf. But it doesn't bother me. I like Shinsuke. I mean, I have no reason to invest in Shinsuke right now. I know he's extremely talented. I do think about all of his match of the year contenders, his banger of a NXT debut with Sami Zayn, But at this point in his career, they're doing something with Otis. They're doing nothing with him. It stinks to watch him get buried, but at least it is being used to further somebody that it does seem like they're trying to invest something in. It's not going to please everybody. It's not. I totally get that. And I completely understand if people disagree with me wholeheartedly. I know there's tons of people can't stand Otis. And I get it, man. I mean, this is like any other type of just narrative and media. Like, it's all perspective. You're allowed to like what you want to like. But yeah. Well, anyways, I'm not here to really be on a soapbox, honestly. This is not what this is about. I like to make dick jokes and laugh at myself. So I'm going to get back to doing that. Roman Reigns comes out, cuts a promo. Kevin Owens apparently still alive backstage. And he's still fighting. He comes out, grabs a chair. He takes out Jay. However, dude can barely walk. So by the time he gets in the ring, Roman easily takes control. Him and Jay beat him down. Jay spinebusters him through one table. Roman does a Samoan drop through another table, buries him with the broken tables, and then proceeds to beat him with chairs and ladders while he's buried. Completely buries him under rubble. Goes backstage. Kayla Braxton's there to interview him, which I don't know. You got to have some balls to witness somebody try to murder somebody on live air and then be like, I'm going to go have a conversation with that person. Before their heart rate can slow down. So kudos to her. Well, anyways, Kevin Owens emerges from the rubble. Barely alive, sits in a chair, says he's going to beat Roman at TLC, or he's going to die trying. And that was the show, man. That was the show. I liked it. Like I said, I really liked it. I thought it was a very strong show. Easily, after recapping Raw, I mean, it's a breath of fresh air for sure. So I liked it. Hopefully you guys did too. Make sure to tune in. I believe I'm doing the predictions tomorrow night. I'll do them live. Tune in tomorrow night. I think we're going to be doing them on our SmackDown podcast Twitch, because I believe Streamer is doing an episode of Putting You Over tomorrow night. So you can tune in to Streamer show. You can tune into ours, watch predictions, and then of course we'll be back again Sunday to cover TLC after it goes off air. Gotta find out who wants to join me. To anybody that's in our group chat, to any of our fans, I mean, hit me up. I like doing predictions and pay-per-view recaps with fans of the show and other creators. Gives a good dynamic for those ones. But really, yeah, that's it, man. Once again, thank you guys. Once again, head over to YouTube, please. Subscribe to our channel. Help us get 200 subscribers. I'm going to go spam the internet. I'm going to make it my point tonight before I go to bed. I want to see SmackDown Podcast 200 subs. That'll make my night going into this weekend. But like always, you guys, until next time, y'all have a good one. Oh, crap. Where's that button? Is that it? Oh, there it is.